hello folks. Hi. Hope you all are doing well. Hi. Hey, hello. I want the display of my screen. Wait, let me check. Yes, hi. Let's make the comment section full of highs and hellos. Let's show the energy in the comment section. Hi, hello, hi. How is everything, guys? Hope you all are doing well. Let me start. Hey, folks. Welcome to the Pit Stop 1 of HackPrix Season 2. Today, we are kickstarting our journey with an exciting session on building projects with Firebase. Whether you are a beginner or looking to supercharge your development skills, this session has to be covered with you all this. Every great project needs a strong backend, and a Firebase is your turbo boost, I would say. Today's speakers will walk you through the Firebase core features from authentications and a real-time database and hostings, so you can build and deploy projects seamlessly. We are live right now, and so buckle up and get ready to accelerate your Firebase skills. We are thrilled to have Bhawna Chauhan with us today. She is a developer relation expert at Quills Audit AI. For more details, we'll invite her to the session. So get your code editor ready and let's dive into the hands-on session. Welcome, Bhavna Chauhan.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us and super excited to take a session around Firebase and I hope you all are excited. So let's have some emojis in the chat with fire where because we are learning more about Firebase over here. So yeah, let's have some emojis. So yeah, perfect. So, little bit about me is like I'm currently working as a DevRel engineer at Quill Audits. Other than that, we'll be covering more about my introduction, like what I do and everything, and the slides itself. So, if you're someone who are excited towards open source, Web3 security, and anything more, so we'll be covering more details into the PPT. And yeah, we are good to go now. I think my screen was visible. Um, yeah, perfect. So here we will be learning more about like Firebase and how you folks can be build a certain project out of it because having a certain SaaS product like Firebase, like by Google, it would be very easy to handle it out and building a backend on top of it. So we'll be covering more about in little detail. So before going into much detail, who I am. So I'm Bhavna and I am a big procrastinator. Yeah, just getting it out. So I'm currently working as a DevRel engineer at Quill Audit. Previously, like I have worked with Collabra as a like software developer, remote software developer for around like 1.5 years and changes. And currently, I'm leading my own community named Shaviers, where we used to promote women to get into tech and stuff like that. And like, I'm pretty much good in like back in 2023, I was in core open source development and being part of different programs like LFX, XROS, and all and built some cool projects, contributed in some cool projects like Harbor Extras and all. And currently, I'm contributing to GitHub community because I got started with because of community, and now it's my time to give back to the community. That's why like I'm being part of GitHub Campus Expert program as well. So yeah, so wherever like I used to take a session, I try to make a certain bond with the audience. So it's your time to interact together and have a discussion around the thing. So simply like what I used to do, I will ask you a certain question. Either you can interact in the chat and let us know like how many of you have this particular things done and everything. So let's imagine like you are using a certain app. It can be like WhatsApp, Telegram, and all, and you instantly send a certain message and someone else receive it out. So have you guys ever think about this particular perspective? Like what's the thing will be happening in the background? So let's have a certain bombard in the emojis. If you ever use WhatsApp while sharing it out with your friends with stickers and chats. So yeah, it's not more than that. I would say like mostly like the projects that we have, like big projects like WhatsApp and everything. There are certain feature that they are using in the background, and Firebase is one of them. So even like WhatsApp using Firebase to have this particular thing running in the background. How cool is it sound? Huh? So second question would be like, has anyone heard of Firebase before, and is it like first time learning about this particular stuff? So like what I have seen, like some people know this particular thing. Like we used to use this particular Firebases for as a like in authentication service or like real time database. But believe me, like it supports way more features than that. But like very few people usually have certain idea about the thing. But believe me, like after this particular talk, you will be having some experience, I would say, like learning about the stuff like what is Firebase, what features they provide, why we need to choose it out, and how you can build a short project out of it. I will be sharing some cool resources in the end of the session as well, because I believe in that particular part. Being a developer, or if you want to get into development, first thing you need to do is start googling it out, because I'm here to give you certain resources, not to like having a hands-on experience. There are a lot of videos that you can follow while doing that out. So yeah, let's deep dive into it. Third question would be like, when you are building a certain app, have you able to think it out, like how I'm going to manage this particular storage, user account, notification, and all? So believe me, like all the things you can do in the Firebase itself. You do not need to rely on any third-party service like MongoDB and anything. Like firstly, you need to create a SQL database, then for authentication and anything, like you need to do a certain other thing as well. You can easily do that using Firebase. So here's what today's agenda look like. Why we are what we are going to discuss it over here. So firstly, we will be going more deep into Firebase. Second, would be like why Firebase, because like there are tons of tools which is being supported by different companies. So why Firebase only? Third, I will be sharing one of my example project where I use Firebase authentication and how I created that particular project, some learning, how you can do that, and stuff like that, so that you can get certain idea. Because like if I'm doing it in a hands-on way, it will or approximately will take 2 to 3 hours. So for shorter time delays and having a more just out of this particular session, I already created a certain project and will be sharing that particular thing with you, like how you can do that particular stuff and all. And in the end, I will be taking some Q&As if you guys have any, and then we are good to go. So, what is Firebase? So, can we have some fire emojis in the chat? Perfect. So, here's our first year Bhavna. We used to came across with different ideas in their mind. It can be like a certain project, web-based project. It can be an Android app, and it would be like I usually think whenever I was in college, this particular project can be a big startup and I will be able to raise some $1 million for that particular project as well. So this is something that excites me a lot whenever I used to think it back in 2022. But then the hard scenario arises. Now I need to start thinking it out, how I'm able to store the data, how I'm able to build this particular website, and what I need to do to implement the login system out there and making it more secure as well. And first at that time, like I'm not sure like how we need to handle the traffic on our website itself. Then with time I start having the habit of like how we can make the things happen. And if the app got viral, how I'm able to manage the backend side of it things as well. I'm the only person who is going to manage it out, or if I host it somewhere, then how I'm able to do that particular stuff. Yeah, mess. There would be a mess in my mind itself. Then I somehow drop the idea. I'm not gonna build this particular project. It happens with everyone. So uh, just like me at that particular time, it feels overwhelming. So here is exactly like where Firebase comes in. So now what is Firebase? Because like I give a certain scenario about the things, like you can do this particular stuff, you can do that particular stuff, but it's still in the particular loop. What exactly it is? So yeah. So Firebase is basically one of the platform which is being developed by Google engineers that helps developer to build and manage mobile and web application very easily. So here's different features, like some of them which is being used by different projects like big companies. I just figure it out over here. And there are a lot of tons of different features that Firebase provide. So we will be covering it. We'll be going through the documentation itself. So here's the first thing, because like I feel if I directly jump into the documentation, some people wouldn't be able to understand it out, because like some people would be a beginner over here. So that's why I try to keep it one step further with time. So first we will be understanding what is Firebase, why Firebase, and then we'll build a short project, seeing the demo out of it, sharing some resources, and then it's your time to figure it out. So yeah, once Firebase is done, so this is like you folks got a certain idea. It's a backend service which is basically used for storing data, where you can manage the database real time in the background. And the very cool feature which is like mostly if I'm being part of any hackathon, because like you can easily do login sign up over here in just 5 to 10 minutes. It wouldn't take that much amount of efforts and time. Cloud storage, like it's free for students like us. So if you are using student GitHub student developer pack, they provide you around I think 200 $300 for this particular one, so you can use it for free. You can host your images, videos, and if you're hosting or doing it on any other platform, you need to pay for the services well. Yeah, so it provides you some Google Analytics, like what's the behavior, like what's this particular app is getting viral, or how many active users you have, and push notification as well. Like if you wanna integrate notification feature as well, you can do it just by writing a certain function out there. So yeah, so I provided a certain gist of it. So if you wanna learn more deep about the things, like recently Firebase added the generative AI feature into their platform itself. So mostly like now if you wanna do and use the Firebase, some feature would be definitely do it in like 5 to 10 minutes. It will automatically set up a project using generative AI. So I would highly suggest to like go through this particular documentation. It's like quite quick, quite easy to understand it out, and you will get certain tutorials out there. So I added a certain QR code or the web URL. You just need to go through it and make the things happen. Let me just go through once Firebase. Will we get a certain info? So here I already shared like get started. You can see the demo. You can host your website and get certain info about the things. And here's a different way. Like you can use Firebase with different apps. If you have a Flutter app, you can use Firebase with that. If you have a web app using Next.js and everything, you can use that. If you are having a project with Android Studio, you build it using Java and Kotlin, you can use that. So it provides a lot of tons of features. That's why I love being part of this particular and using it during hackathons itself, because like in a hackathon you have limited time to work on that particular stuff. So if you're going to create the whole backend from the scratch, it will take a lot of time to make this particular shit happen. So what you can do, as you can see, like a hackathon, it's a like pre-hackathon series which is going on to give you certain insights about the things. So just uh, go through the things once you get certain idea. So it's your time to explore it out and use this particular service in your hackathon itself. So it provides like a lot of features how you can do it. It has very good docs, like having like overview. It provide you fundamental that you need to be learn and stuff like that. Guides it, they have code labs as well, they have a like reference documentation if you're a beginner as well now. So you will be getting a lot of good insights towards it. Just go through that once, and you believe me, like you will thank me later once you have started using this particular stuff in your project. So second, that is Firebase. So do you guys think the same? It's being used by very big companies, must be very difficult to use. I used to think that when I was in like my first year, second year of college. So till now, like if I would say like back in 2023, when I started my tech journey at that particular time, having access to Firebase documentation and anything, it was very bad during that particular time. Like if you're a beginner just starting out with the things, you will face like a lot of issues while understanding that particular doc. But now there are a lot of creators who created a video around that particular stuff. Even like Firebase uploaded a certain video of this stuff, like how you can create or integrate this stuff with your website. And they have a like short tutorials. I will be sharing that particular in the end. So this will be like you will have good amount of access to the things. Like if you have a passion and you are interested to learn and deep dive into it, so you just need to have a just one click type on the Google and you're good to go. So here is certain reason like why I usually choose Firebase to build my projects or like using it as a service as well. So firstly, like it's a Google backing or like it's being built by Google. So it ensures reliability, scalability, and long-term support as well. Because if I would say like last time, there is one project in our company itself, like where I was working before, Colabra. So we built a certain project and we used Firebase as our back service for them. So yeah, it worked very well. And at the end, like there was one crash on our website, and we are facing a lot of issues. Even at that particular time, we do not have any side of things like how we need gonna fix it out. There is certain issues from the Firebase ecosystem itself. So we just open a ticket on their fire like support system, and they get back to us in like less than 20 or 30 minutes. So we are somewhat satisfied with the thing like the reference and the thanks they are providing us. So support system is very good over here, and they provide you comprehensive services as well. Like there are different types of tools that I already mentioned. It provides real-time database analytics in one platform. You do not need to do different things in different platform and then consolidate and having confusion like where we need to go, and explaining someone else would be quite difficult for us. So that's why like I choose that. Real time data sync is also one of the good feature that I usually use, and easy to use. Like Firebase also provides user friendly SDK. You just need to install it on your uh, project, and you can work with that. So like if you're using and building your Android based project, it can be a Flutter based or Android based, then you need to use SDK. And otherwise, like if you're using it using website or web apps, so you can use AI and AI API feature as well. So it's simple to use for the developer who is having worked with certain other backend services before. So you will be able to do it very easily. So yeah, like it provides scalability as well. And if you're like firstly you started with a small project, because if you're building a certain startup, you most probably will be starting with a small project. Then once it starts scaling and getting a high traffic, then scalability would be the issue. But Firebase will also support over here as well. They have certain premium features, sorry, once your site getting attraction, you can make the things happen towards that particular site as well to get attraction towards a platform. And best thing, like it's cross platform support, like it support native Android, iOS and web apps to build certain different cool features around that. And community wise, it's so much good, like you can get very good documentation support from the community if you're facing any issues, because it's being built by 10 years before. So documentation is and everything will be here, so you can do that particular stuff over here. And it supports like build an CND support, like you can do it over here as well. Notification thing that I have already mentioned it out. And last thing that I was mentioning, like crash reporting. uh, the incidents that I was sharing before, like the company I worked before, like Collabra, we faced this particular issue, and luckily I got our data and everything from the from the Firebase side, and they helped us a lot to make this particular thing happen. So these are the some advantages like that Firebase provide to make it more appealing for the user who are just starting out with the things, and especially for the developer who need a one-stop solution with all the supports and integration, and you do not need to make the things at different place. You can do it at one place and make the things happen. So how to automation authentication using Firebase with example. So here, one of the project that I have built during my college days, it's an Android based project using Kotlin. So I will be going through that particular project and giving a certain insight. So what you can do, you can just scan this particular QR code, go through the code base one. I will be showing and explaining how I did that particular part through the main Firebase website, and how you can do the authentication and Firebase storage wala part. Because like if I go more deep into it, like I will explain how you can do the notification and other part as well on Firebase, and then we'll be sharing some. So hope so guys. I I didn't install it out yet because like it's my old PC, and I just shifted to Mac, and this particular thing will take a lot of, just like if you are someone over here using Android Studio, so that particular person will be able to understand it how painful the process is to like things happen. So I created a very good readme. So here's the project that I have built. So it's a simple Twilio app where you can manage your task and everything as a founder. Like you're a team of developer who are working with a certain founder. The founder can track the things like is the team working. You can update the things. They will simply update. Get the notification to the founder like this particular person is working on that particular stuff and things like that. So here's this particular main screen and is a starting page. You just need to do sign in and sign up that through Gmail that I did using Firebase. And Firebase also support like Google, GitHub, Facebook, Instagram, and other authentication. So here then your profile page, user task profile, like the subtask you can provide to the user, and you can change the color as well, add certain time limit, you can schedule a meet with that particular person. Yeah, here's the things that I also added this particular thing like the package structure. Whenever you are going through this particular stuff, you will be able to figure it out what things that I have written over here. Hai So here's the particular grid structure or the project structure. Whenever you created a project on Android Studio, these things will be automatically created. The main code base and everything will be there at the app folder. So let's deep dive into it. So here's the build.gradle file that includes all the dependencies that you are using, and Google services.json, all the Firebase services that we are using. You need to import it out over here. And get ignore is just for init features and everything. Get up command. So here three things. Then after app, we just need to onboard to a src folder which contain the main code base. So here's the initial code which with these two particular folder will be automatically created for testing the app, and we just need to move to our main folder. Here are two things, that first is Java and second is Race. And here we include our assets, and main code base will be here. In Java folder, we will be added our all main code base that we have written, and in Rest folder, we will be adding all the fonts, all the drawable things that we have added. Just like if you are a web developer over here, so you are using most probably Tailwind CSS and everything for designing, or like Shade CN library, different libraries to build a certain front end of a certain project. So here in Android, if you are building it using core Kotlin or Java, so we need to import this particular stuff and create it over here in the rest folder, and just making the things happen towards that particular site. So it's not automatically created, as there are certain libraries that you can add, but for now I just write on my stuff. So let's go to our main folder. Here's res, we will be going to our Java folder, and here it contains different assets. It would be like different profile screens that I have added, so buttons and everything. So there are different activities would be like different pages. It can, you can explain it just like web pages. Whenever you just onboard to a certain website and click on the name bar section, it opens up a different page. So here in the app, whenever you just click to a certain button, it opens to a next page, next screen. So that particular screen would be an activity over here. And adapter would be like if you are building a certain scrollable view and everything, then adapter would be the one that we are using. And firestore is, we need to create firestore folder for using any Firebase things, or like because like I used authentication service and database storage thing over here at Firestore, so we'll be using that particular stuff. And models would be like if you're using actually, like I created over here a pickup thing, like you can use different colors from the model and make this thing happen. So for that particular stuff, I use model class over here. And utils would be like would provide different structures and predefined things that you can automatically being available on the apps. Like if you know, whenever we are creating signing in and sign up skin, so here on the email section, I provided a default email and everything. So for that particular one, we usually create a constant.kt file. .kt is the like suffix, suffix for the Kotlin written file. So I will be going through different activities and explain you how I added this particular. And for setting up all the things on Firebase, what you just need to do, here is our project overview. Here is my project that I have created, Digi Manager. So here you can see authentication, Firebase Firestore, hosting, and storage, crash sites, and performance, remote logging, and way more things that they provide. You can even deploy over here as well. So, but for now, what I just use authentication and Firebase storage. So here are two things that I will be asking from the user. So it would be like first would be his email and the name, which will be automatically stored over here. So let's go to our sign in and sign up screen. So here, just a Kotlin code base. So if you're someone who are pretty much familiar with the Android Studio and how to build a certain app, so here she would be able to understand it out what the things is happening over here. So firstly, wherever you are using Firebase services, so firstly you just need to create the Firebase folder, add all the services using SDK. You can get the documentation over here. One by one they will guide you. You need to create and install this particular command, and SDK will be automatically set up in your project. Then next you just need to import the service on different pages. So for that you was just import, just like in website what we do. We just import different services just by running a certain npm install and stuff like that. In the same way we used to do it Android Studio as well. So here I just added the authentication service using Firebase auth, and from where I can getting the user data. So here you can see on click listener I have provided whenever I used to click on a certain sign in button, it will automatically assign the particular user and ask for certain details. And here is the things, and it will validate and store it on our text utils. Text util is the class that I have created to store the database of the user, and the data will be storing on our uh, Firebase. So here's the Firebase class, and sign in will be there, and sign up. So here as well, we are using authentication and user service, so which will be automatically there. Will be there. So here you can see the particular function Firebase auth dot get instance dot sign out means that the particular data will be storing on our Firebase auth. That means like Firebase main page, and it once this particular data will be stored, it got finished. And if there are any disappearance in between, so I just read on a certain task where it would be like automatically give a certain toast would be like a certain message or the pop-up in the background once you have created a certain profile. So here you can see I usually automatically getting the data from the user, store it on your Firebase, and getting the email, student data, like it, maybe the name, pic, and everything will be stored. And once it is done, and if you're providing the wrong email, so it will, I just added a text over here. When if this particular thing doesn't work, so what we will be going to do is just give a certain toast in the background. Toast would be like a certain pop-up once you're done with the things, like you're successfully automated. And here's this particular entry to like validate you are a actual user or not, to check it out, the things. So in this way we will be, I will go through the firestore page as well once this particular thing is done, and my profile story. So this particular thing is like, here I'm using different storage thing as well. So here you can see Firebase storage system is here. So Firebase storage, you just need to import this particular thing from SDK to the certain activity. In that particular activity you are using the storage feature. So you just need to import that out so that our app also knows like we are going to use this particular function from the SDK to our project. So I will so show you this particular class that I have created in our Firestore folder. So I'm just adding or loading all the users data over there, and it will be automatically stored on our Firebase. So we are just setting on click listeners and all to make the things smoothly. If there any disappearance in the background, it will show us the pop-up, because like I added certain text and pop-ups over here as well. So once you go through that particular code base, I added a certain um, comments as well. So if you're referring this particular doc to like going through the things, like how this particular function already working and all, so you will definitely got to know this particular stuff, like how this particular thing is going on. So this is the thing, like how you can manage. So let me just go into my Firestore class. So this will be automatically added once you have started working on that particular stuff, adding SDK So here's the class that you need to create, whether you want to use any service of the Firestore. So you just need to import whatever things you are going to use in our app, and from our screens as well. Just say, like, you can see I imported board, user data, and constant from our project. And as I'm using Firebase auth and Firebase storage over here, so I just imported these two particular things over here as well. And as you can see, this is a particular function to enter the user's registered data on the Firestore database. So I'm just getting this particular info from the user and add on click listener to it. Once a certain user click on it, and it will be automatically added on our Firestore system. And if there any disparity which happen in between, so it will show you a certain error towards that particular side, like error writing documentation, like means you have written something wrong, so you just need to take care of it. So other than that, if you go through this particular doc, so I also created a board where different issues will be listed that this particular person is working on that particular task, which will be happening on a real time basis. So for storing that particular data, I created this particular section, or also added a certain click listener over there. I also created a board storing the user's data that will be officially will be helping the user to get the data to the founder who will be taking it out and all. So here's the database that I will be storing, boards that will be created. Board would be like, let me just share it in other screen as well. So the board that I was talking about is just task. Like you can see, here are different testing list, and there you can add list. So here's the card, you can add card and board as well. Board would be like it will be running vertically, and if you want to add task in the horizontal direction, you will be able to do that as well. So this is called board. So all the data around this particular board as well will be storing on our Firebase. So I'm storing that particular data using these particular function that I have mentioned over here. So you can see, like, you can also update the user profile into the database just by going through the app itself. So here's this particular function that will work on adding, updating the things. Also, if you want to load the certain particular things about the Firestore things, so you will be able to do that particular thing as well. So like I have written the particular code base in such a manner, like if certain other person will be going through this particular code base, so we'll be able to understand each and every line that I have written. So make sure to check it out, this particular project, and go through once, like the things that is happening, how this particular thing happening. I also created a YouTube video around that particular stuff, so how you can create a certain project using Kotlin and Firebase storage. So we'll be sharing the link with the team itself, so you can go through that as well. I just created this particular project during that time being. So yeah, this is like little bit info about the thing. So first you just need to create your project over here um, on Firebase. How you gonna do that? Mm, just go into Firebase. Under your section, you just need to select and create a new project. Once you're done, let me just go through and give you a certain overview about the things. So here, once you go into the Firebase ecosystem, you just need to create a certain project, or either you can explore a demo project as well. So it's up to you what you wanna do. So once you clicked on, here's a project that I have already created. So here's, you can see here's the authentication feature. And by mistake, I wouldn't be able to show you the correct demo right now. But if you wanna try it out, you are good to go. So where you gonna do and try it out? It's not on App Store right now, so you can download the APK from here on your phone and try the things. and I can show you like all the data will be automatically updated once you start working on it. And here are certain boards data that I have already created. So here's the board, here's the users data. So you can see like I have asking user their email ID, image, mobile number and name. So here different profile user who is automatically provided the things. Board data would be like the task that is given to you, and different cards option, which is how who created this particular project and what color that particular a person is using. And this particular thing will be all stored on Firebase in a real time basis. You can update that particular stuff as well. So how cool is it sound? Like you do not need to based or believe on certain other things and doing that at a different place, and then you got confused like where I do that particular part. So just do all the things at one place and you are good to go. So here's a short demo that I have created to Firebase. Hope you get a certain gist of it. I can create the whole project, but it will take a lot of time and we have limited time. So that's why I have just already created project that I have shown you over here. I have a YouTube video that you can follow on the go and build if you're interested to go in. So I added the link into the README itself. So if you're going to the README, you will be able to find it out and build a certain uh, just app like that. So you just need to scan this particular QR and you're good to go. Here are some other resources that I would highly suggest to go through if you're definitely looking to get into Firebase ecosystem and building a certain project. So here's one tutorial which is like recently uploaded by Simply Learn. What is Firebase and how you can build a certain project out of it. So this is also one of them, and Firebase itself created a certain video about, I think it's 4 hour long video where they have given you certain insight like how to do authentication, how to do database storage, how to do other things as well in a 30 minute slot, and all the things at one place in a one video. So you can go through that particular stuff as well. So I would say like if you're someone who is just really interested and looking to build this particular thing in the hackathon, because it's like, believe me, like once you start and going through the documentation, it will hardly take 30 to 40 minutes to get hands dirty on this particular stuff. So just go through once, and believe me, like if you're someone who love participating in hackathon and like, and it would be like you are only one who, or either two people will be participating together in the hackathon. So one person will be working on the front end, second person would be like you do not need to build a whole back end from scratch, you can do it on Firebase itself. And it will be way easier, and because in hackathon you need to build a certain project which is not going to be used by a lot of folks. So it can be like if you're putting some efforts and making the things happen, but in hackathon you just need to pitch to the judges and make the whole project in just 36 hours, or less than 24 hours. So the same thing happens over here as well. Like you have limited time or you need to build a certain project out of it. So Firebase would be a good option to use that. So that's why like I have created this particular thing. Like if you do not hire a man who does it for money, because you are not here at the hackathon for money, you are over here because like you love building different project, engaging with folks into the hackathon and all. So just keep learning and give your best. And here it is. So here's my experience. So wherever I used to go, so I try to inspire the folks to like be into the industry and get hands dirty with the thing. So here's Bhavna, who just started back in 2023 when I was in my first year of college. So it would be quite overwhelming for me once I will be there. You people know about hackathons. So I'm from BSc background. I do not know even that particular stuff, because in our college, what they used to teach us is like stuff like college related things you can read from the book and give the exam. If you pass, you're good to go, you are a good student and stuff like that. Then suddenly like I think like I'm not able to get the job from all this particular stuff. and then we started figuring it out. I will be learning more stuff, and somewhere someone told me like you need to be having a Twitter account would be a great option. Then I built a Twitter account. Then slowly I started learning about things. I got into open source, paying different programs. Like you can see here's my one of the pick from Amalech Fellowship, where I participated from around like 15 folks from all over the world, where we build a certain project which is then acquired by the company itself, and we got certain incentive out of it. Here's one of the Extras Fellowship Foundation summit, like where we got awarded from the IS officer of the Delhi specific reason for the work that we did. So this is something like once you started exploring the tech and get into it. So, but make sure like this is something you love, because if you're going and getting into the industry just for money, or like because everyone doing that, because mostly people over here might be the BTech student, so it mostly happen like people be in this particular field because everyone is doing it out. Just find your passion, explore different skills. You are in hackathon, so you can try getting your hands dirty. Might be you're a web developer, you can try your hands dirty in Android dev. Like I usually do that particular part, so it will be even broad your mind. You will be learning a certain skill in just 24 hours or 36 hours, and you are good to go. So here's the thing that I have shared. So if you are interested and having certain questions, so I will be more than happy to share any doubts around the talk that I have around Firebase and anything. And if you want to discuss more about like things like open source and all, would be more than happy to help you out. Just you can what you can do, you can reach out to me over Twitter or either on my email. So would be more than happy to help you out. So in and would say like treat coding as an opportunity, not as an option. So if you're someone, so being a coder, best thing that I like about it, you just need a laptop and an internet connection to solve a problem which is being faced by a lot of people right now. So you can take an example of WhatsApp itself. You're now using WhatsApp, you can make a certain payment from particular location. You're living in Delhi, you can make a payment to a person who is sitting in Bangalore or even in Pune. So it's a problem that is being solved right now. You can chat to a person, making some video connection and everything. So it will be done by software developers who are building that particular project. So yeah, this is the first thing. So if you have any question, I would more than happy to pick it up from the chats, and then we are good to go. And if you wanna post, we will be taking some APK link over here. Yeah, sure. So uh link where to share this. Yeah, share here. Okay. So like you can try it out a project from here, and either if you have like Android Studio on your system, so you can just clone this particular project and run it on your system itself. So it would be something uh, you will get certain ideas like how the things working, because open this particular project is open source. So once you are running it in your system, so you can change the certain code of line and make the things happen. So I think we're good to go now. Yeah, this is something that I would love to share. If you have any questions, so now we can pick it up.
Thank you, Bhavna, for your insights on Firebase. Folks, if you have any questions related to Firebase, let us know in the comment section. Also, personally, I have one question, Bhavna.
Yeah.
Uh, the
Uh, Raisha, I think I'm not able to hear your voice. If you can repeat the question once again.
I was asking if I am using a Firebase, is it a secure backend?
Yeah, like it's a very secure backend. If you go through the Firebase website now, so there are different billion-dollar companies who is using Firebase as a backend itself. So let me share one example with you. So it's very secure. Like the main problem that I have faced, like a lot of people avoid using Firebase. They think like if we get a more attraction and our app got viral on our platform, so it would be very hard to manage everything on Firebase. But now, like they recently launched their premium feature. So like if you have more than 1,000 users on a weekly basis, so you can use that particular thing, and they will be providing assistance toward that particular side as well.
Okay.
So you know about Duolingo.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So that particular project used Firebase as a backend service, completely whole built on Firebase.
Okay. Like, do you have any Firebase tips? That,
Yeah, so like if I would share some tips from my side, like those who are looking to use, or like if you're a new guy or just looking to use this particular service. So first, I would suggest like go through the tutorial which is being shared by Firebase itself. So you can find it on YouTube itself. So just go through once. It's I think 3 or 3.5. Yeah. So it's like 3.5 hours long uh, tutorial where they provide you a certain gist about the things, like how you can make the things happen and everything. So and it will be like very easy to understand it out during that particular stuff. So I would suggest like one tip would be my from my side, instead of going to thousands of tutorials on Firebase, just go through once which is being published by Firebase. It's just around like 2-3 years old, but the content they provide, it's like more than enough to like sustain in this and getting started with the things. Once you are go through that particular tutorial, one thing that you need to do, just go through their docs, and nothing else you need to do to build a certain project on Firebase.
okay. Hope you have any comments to tell.
Well, would you not recommend using it? I don't think like there is any limitations that I would say you're gonna face. So if you're building a short project, Firebase is good to go. If you're looking to build a certain product out of it, Firebase is good to go. As I just take an example of Duolingo, there are a lot of projects that they have figured out. Trivago, if you know about, it's a um, travel booking site. So it's also like having daily thousands of users on their platform, and if Firebase will be able to handle it out, so I don't think it will be having any problem from their side. So I usually use this particular tool a lot. So, like even in my company I'm currently working, they have a core backend developed on their side. So, but I am just suggesting it them out, like instead of doing it on a certain different stuff, because we need to do everything on different platforms. So Firebase is like good to go option for those who are just building it out. And if you are just building a certain project in hackathon, so it would be like more beneficial because it's easy to use, and you will be able to figure it out and build a certain backend in just less than 1 hour or 2 hours. And you can show the demo to the judges and mentors as well. Are there any alternatives to the Firebase? Yeah, like there are different alternatives. Upright is one of them. So they also having very cool stuff they have planned. So you can use Upright as well. But the thing is like Upright recently launched, and Firebase is like being used for 10-12 years, and different companies supports it. So if you are thinking from the company perspective, yeah, like if you are thinking from the company perspective, then I would say like Firebase is good to go. But like if you're someone who are just getting your hands dirty by building certain projects on different tools, on different ideas, so you can take a different alternative as well, and you can find it out what works for you the best. Firebase is there, and Upright is there, and there are other tools as well. So these are the two ones that I already use. I built a certain project on Upright as well. It's a pity. They also have a like pretty cool documentation, and they recently launched a student program where you can host any backend. You can use it any backend service for free, because I think they are paid for certain to like after 2 or 3 projects you need to be paid. But recently they launched, if you're like a student, you can leverage the thing and use it right as well. I think, yeah, what's the best way to implement role-based access bugs and bugs? So yeah, like it's a very, if I say so, it will take a lot of time to like explain all the things, like how you're going to manage the roles and ways out of things. So they have a pretty cool documentation. So if I share it out, so I will share this particular RBAC like thing on Firebase, how you can implement that particular stuff. So in the chat itself, so there's a documentation that you can follow. So it covers almost everything in that particular stuff. And just give me a second. I'm just yeah, like if you are looking to do this particular thing in Firebase, so you just need to change certain dependencies. Like instead of going to the user, you just need to provide them. There will be a different role as well. So I'm sharing a Stack Overflow link over here, so you can go through with that, and do let me know if you face any issues. Like if you folks have face any issues while working with Firebase, you can reach out to me either on LinkedIn or Twitter. I will be sharing my link tree over here, so if you folks can share that as well. Because like if you're using it for the first time, you will definitely going to take a lot of issues while working with that and bugs and everything. So I'm sharing my link tree with you whenever you are fixing or unable to find it out. But the first thing, like first came up the solution from yourself. If you're not able to find it out and you spend a lot of hours, then reach out to any other folks, because then it makes sense. Na? Okay, like you put your efforts, and now you're not able to find it out. Everyone would be more than happy to help you out. But instead of you are not trying it out and you directly asked to the speaker, they would definitely wouldn't be able to help you out. So I just share it the things with you, and you're good. Any other doubts? Like if you have any doubts, you can reach out to me on my socials, and we can have a discussion around the things if you're stuck with things. So,
I would just give insight about HackPrix 20. We are hosting a HackPrix 2025 on 14th and 15th of June, which is being hosted by CodeWave Hub community in collaboration with Lord's Institution of Engineering and Technology. This is just the first pre-hackathon session, and we have a lined up series of sessions coming forward to stay up Update it, follow us on social medias, and join our Discord servers. We all have the links in the description below and also in the chats. That's it for the Pitch Stop 1. If you find this session helpful, don't forget to like us, share and subscribe, and stay updated for upcoming HackPrix sessions. And remember that it's just a beginning. There are more pit stops coming your way, and we speed through HackPrix Season 2. See you all next one. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, Bhavna, for having us today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us.